Hello there. You look quite fit, quite able. Perhaps I'll have work for one so hearty as yourself. I have served the Alpha Merchant Navy since my youth, when I began my career as a deckhand on the good ship Steadfast. He is the scourge of the Frostbreak Sea, a terror who seems intent on sinking every ship we sail from Rathir or elsewhere. If only he'd stayed dead. It's the fierce, icy ocean north of the plains of Erethel, a busy place of trade and transport, and the occasional treachery. It is the hideaway of Dead Kell and his crew. The legends speak of it as a damned isle, a horrible scar on the face of the world. To be quite honest, no one is sure of its true location. For the best, I say. Well, once you hear the details, I'm sure you will lose interest. Everyone else does. We of the Alpha Merchant Navy wish to hire a representative to track and kill the notorious pirate Dead Kell and his crew of murderous hanged men. They had many names for him during the Middle Kingdoms era. Ghost of the Frostbreak, the Blood-Red Sail. Every captain and swab on the Frostbreak Sea feared for their lives when Kell raised his flag. Many widows were made in those days, my friend. Of course, that was centuries ago, before he was killed. Oh yes, the Alpha Navy put an end to Dead Kell generations ago. They tracked him to his island hideaway and turned his ship to tinder. There were no survivors. Now you understand our predicament. Our shipping and transport lanes are a gauntlet. Dead Kell preys on our ships like scabs feast on the dying. We are helpless against him. We're losing 1 in 5 vessels departing from Rathir. Good sailors gone, vital supplies sent to the depths. This must end now. You will? Truly? I must admit I did not anticipate this development. Here is your payment. It is made in good faith. Once you've made your preparations, report to Captain Rast Bratigan in the Keys. She will be your escort. Rast is a good and loyal companion and a competent sailor, despite what they say. May Lyria protect you, and may her breath ever be at your back. Good luck. She is the only captain willing to pursue Dead Kell into the mists of the Frostbreak Sea. Perhaps it is her courage, her skill, her determination. No, that's not it. Rast is a good woman, but unaware of her own faults, of which there are many. They don't call her the worst sailor alive for nothing. Nothing causes a captain and crew more grief than those little blue beasts. Their poisonous secretions can eat through a new hull in a matter of days. They're not native to this region, but they stow away in the shadowy holes of ships sailing up from the north. They are Dead Kell's legendary crew, a trio of villains so sinister that their names sink the heart of every sailor. But I won't tell you any more. No, you don't need anything else to stoke your worry. Trust Rast.
Relax and rest a while.
You look like you've traveled wind at your back.
Say, Captain.
Don't bother me. I'm waiting for a passenger, some suicidal idiot. Can't be caught chatting. I want to make a good impression. I captained my first ship when I was no bigger than my papa's knee and promptly crashed it into the dock, sinking 3 vessels with 1 wreck. It was then that I knew my destiny was to be a sailor. From that day forward, I spent my life on the water. 20 ships in 20 years. It must be some kind of record. He's as elusive as a north wind, A phantom with a skull for a face and fins for feet. Every sailor yearns for the chance to face dead Kel. He and his hangmen go where they please, masters of the frostbreak. In my experience, islands are places you visit in order to escape torment and certain death. The Gallows End is one destination I will avoid on future voyages. Unless I crash there, of course. Bloodgrin, the Whispering Witch and the Baronet, fiends and killers, all of them. They give sailors a bad name. Well, tie me up and drag me under. So you're the one the Navy's hooked into finding Gallows End and killing dead Kel. It's suicide! Really? Ask the others. Oh wait, you can't. But don't worry about them. Like my mother said, don't weep for the fallen. Even if they could hear you, they wouldn't care. You know, the other applicants. Dead, all of them. All of the ones they found, that is. Plenty of others just vanished. One poor fellow was found cut into teeny tiny pieces. They needed a bucket to pull all of him from the surf. But don't you worry, we'll have a fine voyage. He's the worst of the worst. A villain who truly enjoys the pain he inflicts. He's a slippery one, though. Not even death can catch dead Kel. I'd love to be the one to bring him in. Maybe then I'd finally get some respect. It is the mysterious island fortress of dead Kel and his crew. Why? Do you know how to get there? Because I have no idea. I was hoping to figure it out as we go, but I'm starting to wonder if that's a good idea. Flattery'll get you nowhere, unless I've had too much to drink. Then I'm afraid to say it'll get you all sorts of strange places. I shall not elaborate. Tari and I are ready when you are. Only what you want with you in case of an emergency. There aren't many merchants where we're headed. He's the fine first mate on the ground next to me. Words aren't his strength, although I'd be pressed to say what is exactly. I found him after I was forced to maroon my last first mate on a desert island. That man became obsessed with me, probably because we had sex. A lot. Seeing as I don't believe in navigation, I'd have to say no. Not at the moment. Not to worry. Once you've wrecked enough ships, you get the hang of it. If you're ready to depart, my vessel awaits. You'll find her both swift and seaworthy. Just don't go down into the hold. There's a leak down there. It's big. I'm predicting an uneventful voyage. We might even get bored. Off we go then. Trust no one, except me, of course. Wow! I did not foresee such a horrendous disaster. Too bad. Are you well? Everything in its right place? Most of the others were killed. It wasn't quick. I heard their cries in the fog, but I couldn't do a thing. Dead Kel! One moment there was nothing but open sea before us, and the next there he was. It didn't take much to sink the Calamity. That poor ship was asking for mercy, and dead Cal granted her wish. Welcome to Gallows End, my friend. At least I think that's where we ended up. I hope you like surprises. No one is sorrier than I am. Those men and women were my family. Travelling as I do, there aren't many opportunities for closeness. I found that on the Calamity. Found it and lost it. Good thing Tari is still with me. Well, mostly. Not sure exactly, but he's bleeding like a gutted fish. We're going to need to reach shore if we want to fetch help. We'll have to come back for him. I wish there was another way. God, Illyria, bless her, like Mother always said, never love anything, because all things end up dead. I was with my mother, and very, very sad. The hull drifted off into an eastern cove, where it sank away completely, only bubbles remain. And a more capable team, can't imagine. It appears as if part of the mainland is through a nearby cavern, but it seems to be flooded and blocked by debris. I do carry small cobalt explosives in my pack, but I've never used one before. Well, not successfully. No time to draw. A lot of he'll pay. Oh, are we there yet? It's time to see whether or not these explosives work to find out. Get back! I'm lost. flying jellyfish. I'm out of explosives. And we're so close, I can hear the waves on the sand. One of us is going to need to find some way to get us through this wall. And by someone, I mean you. You see, I don't swim, or did I fail to mention that? Anything that can get us through this wall. Be creative. I'd help you, but I can't swim. Let's go! Amazing! We survived! I didn't want to say anything in the cavern, but I was betting against us. In the words of my dear departed mother, always prepare for the worst, for it'll probably happen. There looks to be a settlement on the beach. Come, let's see who's at home. All right then.
Akara blesses us with another lost soul. Welcome, stranger. I am Alder Malloy, and you've arrived at Cape Solace just in time. Tell me, how have you come to find yourself upon our shore? It is a village established by those of us whose fates have brought us to Gallows End. Sailors and settlers, foreigners and families, but castaways all. We have made a life here on these beaches and in this village. Akara is the reason I am here. The reason all of us on this island are here. And maybe, my friend, it's why you are here as well. Akara is this island and everything upon it. Ah, so you're here for the oppressor, he who was cast down. You're not the first to arrive on these shores in search of him. You will not be the last. But Akara's magic protects us here in Cape Solace. We are safe from Dead Kell's deathless touch. The same cannot be said for those who venture past the boundaries of the village, near the keep and the surrounding forest. Dead Kell was the favorite son of Akara. He was given great gifts from our protector, only to squander them in the pursuit of power. We are blessed not to fear him. So many others live at his mercy, but not those of us here on the safety of the beaches. Akara protects the faithful. Why, it is the great fortress that looms in the north. Grave Hall, as it was named by the Diverga craftsmen who raised its mighty walls. But the Diverga have long since abandoned the island, leaving their great keep empty. Some in the village, like Paddy, are intrigued by the keep's dark courts and corridors. But I would avoid it. Grave Hall is haunted. The villain Dead Kell rules much of this island, and he strives tirelessly to control every last inch. Akara will not let this happen. We are protected in this spot alone, just south of the river and along the coast. The Fallen One has no power here, and it enrages him. Then you will fit in well, for keeping the village strong is truly a group undertaking. We get by with Akara's blessing and providence, of course. You may stay with us for as long as you wish, but might I suggest that you find a way to make yourself useful? We all must do our part. He is this island and everything on it. His power and wisdom give us direction, help us to chart a course through the thundering storm of this mortal life. Akara has been a part of Gallows End since before the first castaway dragged his boat ashore and kissed the damp sand beneath his feet. We here in Cape Solace worship Akara because it is he who provides safety, sustenance, and sense of purpose. I once captained my own craft. I was a thief and a smuggler. But all that changed when I found myself here, upon this mysterious shore. Akara blessed me with a second chance. That is what he does. He shows you what is possible. He shows you the fates of which you've never fathomed. I met Bridget, another castaway, and later we had our beloved Nina. All the happiness I'd ignored in my early life were suddenly mine. He and his hanged men are not welcome near our village. Akara has made it so. The fallen sun stalks the forest and coasts of Gallows End, but he is a prisoner here as much as anyone. One day, Akara will rid us of him once and for all. I prefer the rolling tides of the Frostbreak to any grassy plain or hillside. I have lived a life adrift, seeing the world and meeting interesting people. All who find themselves on these white sand beaches have been drawn by Akara. Here you will discover many mysteries, but none more important than what to do with this opportunity. Who will you be when you leave Gallows End? The same person who came? Or someone else entirely? She means well, but like all children, she craves freedom and independence. She will learn to respect boundaries. This is an island, after all. He's a funny one, plagued by delusions and inspiration. I've known Akara to touch people, but Paddy acts more touched in the head than blessed. Ever since he arrived, Paddy has had a covetous eye on Gravehall Keep. I don't know what it is about that old ruin that so bewitches him. Magical deviants like their master, the hanged men terrorize any who brave the wilderness. Bloodgrin stalks the docks of Kell's Harbour to the west, while the Baronet rules the mountains in the north, haunting its peaks and twisted islands. Worst of them all is the Whispering Witch. We never know where she will strike next.
Well, I don't know about you, but all of this talk about Akara is unsettling. I'm going to ask around about ways to get off the island, since I'm almost certain we're not going to want to stay. We'll have to secure another vessel, but from the looks of the village, they don't often venture past the reef. In the meantime, I'll ask you to scour the beaches for survivors of our wreck. I fear that we may be all that's left of the calamity. Such a possibility has left me agitated. I try not to worry. Anxiety doesn't agree with me. I throw up. I did not see my bosun Thora among the dead, or his wife Asa. There's a chance they have evaded death's grip and still count among the living. Mark my words, if even one of them survives, I will fight to the earth's edge to find them. That's the spirit. I knew taking you on board was the right idea. That fortune teller didn't know what she was talking about. I will stay here and speak to Alder about a boat, and I'll have them send men to fetch Tari from the sandbar. I'll have Dead Kell's head if it's the last thing I do. What was left of the ship drifted towards a cove past the eastern cliffs. I'd bring them back.
Greetings. Look what the reef brought ashore this time. I am Padrig Dower. My friends call me Paddy, but I have few of those here in the village. I assume dear Alder's given you the welcome speech? Poor, foolish man. It's getting crowded down here, you know. Pity we can't move, some of us at least, up to the keep on the hill. Alder's god. I don't know if he's real or not, but I know I don't believe in him. What kind of god only protects you if you stay within these random borders and, every few years, sacrifice someone to him? Alder's god. I don't know if he's real or not, but Alder's a fine fellow. Just ask him. He'll tell you himself. You may have gathered, he and I don't see eye to eye on some things. Alder's a fine fellow. None of us are here by choice, so I try not to judge too harshly. But, if I may be crass, they're a bunch of damn sheep, these people. Not all of them, of course. Keen, Lan, they're good folks. Myfa too. The rest I wouldn't miss. It's safe, that's for certain. And try as I might, I can't deny that's probably thanks to this Akara. Real or not, that doesn't mean I have to worship him like the others. I don't fall to my knees out of pure boredom like some people. Raised by humans, trained by the Master, and nothing but a sour malcontent if most of Cape Solace is to be believed. You'd be wise to steer clear of me. Praise Akara now and then and start making your new life here. Thing of beauty, isn't it? Nothing like the great city of Odessa, of course, but just as breathtaking. Please excuse my enthusiasm. I was an architect back in the world. If you want a nicer place to live, and you aren't afraid of spirits, I can help you get that keep. Interested? It's not haunted. Cursed, maybe, but not haunted. Gates locked and it's crawling with those damn scavs. And something else inside that's loud as hell. Every so often, someone gets an idea to sneak in. Most don't get as far as the door, and those who do never come back. Fantastic! Let me know when you're ready to go, and we'll be off. Come on, then. I'll lead the way, but stay close. Alder's god doesn't protect us outside Cape Solace. Bye. We shouldn't linger in these woods.
Lo, we sing of good kings shipborne and stout, from fasting waked and white wind whispered. He was Ulfston chief.
See? What did I tell you? Magnificent. Bit worse for wear after a couple centuries, but nothing I couldn't fix. Let's see if this key still works. Bye. That was a close one. This keep is not haunted. It is overrun. Monsters, not phantoms, inhabit its dark hallways. We should move along. I'll leave it behind for the keep the first chance I get. The dream is still mostly mist and darkness, but bits and pieces return to me when I concentrate. Though I don't remember all the details, I believe the memory is guiding my discoveries and inspirations. The Diverger built Gravehall Keep and all the fastings around the island. A whole tunnel network built for defense. No one knows why they left the island, but it's clear they left in a hurry. Soon to be master builder of Gravehall Keep, if you please. Should you see fit, of course. Or just call me Paddy. Bye. Go on. You've beaten back the beasts. You've braved the shadows. You've earned the right to claim the seat. Sit upon the throne. You are the rightful ruler of Gravehall now. Bye. This is remarkable. You've done it. For years, the villagers of Cape Solace have been too craven to enter this great hall. And here you are, freshly washed ashore, and you march right in and take it. Haunted? Never. Just a few small beasts, nothing you couldn't handle. Guess the keep had one more surprise left for us. But now, the keep is yours. You're the first master of the keep in nearly 500 years, if you're willing to believe all the legends. Let me be the first to offer you my services, my liege. Can't say I miss it, but I think it's our duty to offer them any help they need. My liege, I am glad you asked. I've been ruminating over this beautiful structure, devising plans for its improvement. I'll start by restoring the keep inside and out, but I also feel the need for a beast pen in the courtyard. I could easily add that at the same time. I just need you to get me 2 bundles of beachstone, 3 bundles of amberwood, and 3 bundles of sailcloth. The centuries have been surprisingly kind to this place. The forest should have reclaimed it ages ago. Worst part is all the scav droppings, but that's just dirty work. I believe much of the rubble is what remains of the side buildings and upper floors I saw in my dream, but I'm not certain yet. Yes, it will allow us to take full advantage of the island's diverse variety of beasts. Of course, we'll soon need to find a suitable beast master to run it. I think I might know just the man, but we'll get to that later. You should be able to find enough to salvage at Scuttle Beach. I've marked a few locations for you to search on your map. I'll get to work as soon as you're back. The Diverga employed scores of indigenous beasts of this island, training them and harnessing them into service. Emberwood, sailcloth, bear hide, sea steel, and beach stone. They can all be found in sufficient quantities around the island, but not always in the safest locales. Bye.
You must be one of the new arrivals. Tell me, did Cape Solace drive you out as well? I am Nesta Gwynedd. My husband Cadwallon and I have only been here a short time, but we've managed to eke out a tolerable existence on our own. Or we did, before the scav infestation. Several months ago, my husband and I started a garden on Storm Point. It has saved our lives. Thanks to this secret spot, we've been able to fill the village stores to brimming. Now, however, scavs seem to have taken a keen interest in Storm Point as well. They wish not to fill their stores, but their bellies instead. Scavs are not native to the Frostbreak Sea. They come from the south, infesting ships and living off the cargo, and often the crew. They've made quite a home here on Gallows End, nesting in large broods, deep and damp old fastings left behind by the Diverga. If your goal is to ingratiate yourself to the inhabitants of this island, you've chosen the right path. You have my thanks, and the thanks of those who wish to eat. Come, we will take you to Storm Point. It's not far, just past the boundaries of Cape Solace and Gravehall Keep. I have encountered many fanatics in my time, and none are so zealous as Alder Malloy. In the few months that we've been here, he's tried to convert me twice. Never trust a man who lets his faith speak for him. Alder and his people preach community and hope, yet they cast out any who do not view their beloved Akara as the sun and the moon. I have my own gods, thank you. We don't need to fear the Pirate King. His realm is to the west, deep in the caverns of the coast. They say he's been killed before, but that the flames of the afterlife buoyed his rise back to Earth. It's enough to give one shivers. You can find them all over the Frostbreak Sea, from west of here to the Near East and the Obsidian Isle. The Diverga are a stern and superstitious lot. They claim the oceans as their own, and frown on anyone who wishes to challenge that authority. Life on the island would be unbearable if not for Cadwallon. So many in the village have been torn from their loved ones. Not I. It is the wreck that brought my love to me. Wouldn't I love to move our camp up behind those tall, strong walls? But that's not possible. Gravehall is cursed. Nothing good has ever come to those who enter its vast shadow. In fact, none of them have ever returned. I was born an heir to the great House Pennion, reigning high on the spire in Rathir. My life was one of study, tradition, and endless possibility. That all changed the day my father's ship was caught in a hurricane off the coast of Erethel. I awoke a week later here on Gallows End, in the gentle, healing arms of my Cadwallon. It was like I was reborn. I know them from the songs of my father's crew, low-born men and drunkards mostly. According to legend, the Hanged Men are said to be the fiercest pirates in all of Amalur. How such criminals manage to ever work together is beyond me. Let's go.
Concealed. Stay concealed.
We mustn't go any farther. The scavs will know we're coming. Oh, those little monsters can hear the hair stand up on the back of your neck. We could certainly use some assistance with those scavs. I hate scavs. Thank you. Our stores were running low, and it's not as easy as you'd think to gather food in these treacherous lands. There are others in the village that could use your help. In fact, I was planning to ask someone to venture down to Scuttle Beach. I saw a ship before the scavs moved in. I'm convinced it ran aground on the rocks below, but I can't be sure. Someone should check for survivors. Farewell.
Hello.
So, I'm not the only one who walked out of that mess. I figured you for a sturdy one, but surviving that wreck, that's fate. We shouldn't waste a moment. My wife, my Asa, she still lives, but they took her. I've never seen anything like it. Scavengers. They looked like fair Gorta, but not like any I've ever seen. No, it was just us. Asmir, Kelly, Free, Edric, Udin. They're all gone. All dead. They were good people. Proud. Not the bedraggled bunch many mistook them for. It's a shame. Thank you. I won't forget this, truly. I will make way inland. If there are others on this island, I will find them, and I will send them. My heart goes with you. There's not much time.
At last! I thought the crabs would pick my bones clean. You must set me free. Those louts can't have gotten far, if they're still alive, that is. They'll pay for their crimes, I promise you. Don't loosen my tongue on the talk of gods. I can kill a man as quickly as any god. Save your prayers, my friend. I've seen statues with more life in them than this lot. Pray and fish, fish and pray. Someone slay me, please. Sure, I've heard the stories. Who hasn't? My mum used to tell me that dead Kel would sell me into slavery if I didn't leave my mucky boots at the door. A whole lot of nonsense. A smart man could make this rock his fortress, his kingdom. All of this salvage just waiting here to be put to use. As for those fools in Cape Solace, they're so desperate they'll pray to ghosts, to figments of their own imaginings. A Kara? Ha! I've seen more powerful gods at the bottom of a bottle. I've done my share of work. Mined the pits of Apatir, worked the Wolds' farmlands, even fought as a soldier along the Tawili coast. I don't like to stay in one place. I want to taste everything life has to offer. The last thing I want to do is collect dust. Thought the prison ship would take me someplace exciting. And here I am. Who needs you? Do you mean to mock me? Here I stand. The rogues on our prison galley cracked me upside the skull and dragged me in here. Now I know why they were in such foul moods all the time. Be a friend and free me. The lock requires a key, but it should be somewhere nearby. In the wreckage, I'd wager. I'm a mercenary by trade, once of the war sworn, and I sought my fortunes in Odessa, on a prison ship. The revolt occurred not long after we left the city, as we sailed north through the Forian Strait. The prisoners broke free of their shackles, stormed the decks. Didn't take long for those dogs to realize that trained men are needed to sail a prison galley. We struck the rocks, and all hands went down. All but one. Then you have my thanks, as one honourable soul to another. The key was last seen on the bosun's belt, but he's nothing but bones now. I'd follow the crabs. Little buggers appear to have quite the hunger for rotting flesh. Be good.
Sailor, are you? Sailors pitch when they walk dry ground, list like drunkards at a wake. No, you're not one of them. So who are you? My name is Nina Malloy. You met my father Alder back in the village. He wouldn't be pleased to find me here. Of course, very little pleases my father. I've walked this island since I was no bigger than a boggart, yet I'm still prohibited from venturing past the village on my own. I can take care of myself. You know, I killed my first scab in this very fasting. I don't need protection. Not yours, not my father's, not Akara's. Keep telling our people that the offering only makes us slaves, makes us weak. But do they listen? No. They've been trained not to. We sacrifice one of our own people to Akara, a being none of us have ever seen, and one that's desires are not known to us. Is the offering bad? Yes. We can leave whenever we wish, all of us. Only we lack a vessel fit for such a journey. It wouldn't matter, however. Most of the villagers in Cape Solace wish to stay right here. My father has them convinced that their destiny is to serve Akara. My destiny is my own. If only he understood that. It takes place once in a generation. a member of the village's chosen, and then she's offered to the god Akara as a sacrifice. During the offering ceremony, Akara imbues the chosen one with his magic and transforms her into his arbiter, his mouthpiece in the village. We follow her guidance, whether we wish to or not. Yes, so I gathered. The scabs aren't partial to intruders, especially ones they can eat. I'll join you if you don't mind. I know these tunnels better than anyone. Lead on. I'll watch your back.
He's a tyrant, nothing more. We're captives here so long as Akara guides us. All my life I've heard of his benevolence, his protection. What's he protecting me from? I'll tell you. Freedom. A whole world awaits us beyond these shores. A world I'll never discover. Many years ago, this island belonged to the Dread Pirate. It was his lair, a place where the justice of the Alfar held no sway. But time passed, as it always does. His influence here has waned. He wouldn't let it keep you from slumber. I was born and raised on this island. I know many of its secrets. At least those it's willing to share with me. And while I feel at home on Gallows End, I want nothing more than to leave it. Between Akara, dead Kel, and my father, there's no room left for the rest of us. I keep the village of Cape Solace in wild game, for when the sea is stingy with its yield. I also scour the forests and cliffs for plants, for our village alchemists. However, most people on Gallows End only know me as Alder's daughter. Till I escape this place, I'll never be anything more than that. Never quite fit in with the rest of us in the village. Didn't do his part, carry his load. Apparently he's got other plans. I don't know why my father put up with him. It is a spectacle, nothing more. Akara only uses it to keep the villagers tethered to his will. The offering fast approaches. I'd rather not discuss it anymore. It's tough to tell in these old tunnels, but if your friend was dragged in here by scabs, then she'll be at the very bottom. Don't waste my time.
Cycle the first, dear Rathi. Greetings, dear Netta. If I view this...
This place is a mess.
You've come. They came as soon as the hull went under. The cargo, the survivors, the sails. Everything stripped like flesh from a bone. I didn't think I'd live to see the morning. Not with dead Kell here. I've sailed with Captain Bratigan since the beginning. My husband and I hired her to ferry us across the Forian Strait to Odessa. After the wreck, we floated in the open sea for a whole week without food. That kind of experience creates lasting bonds. Everyone has heard about this place, but few have ever actually laid eyes on it. It's beautiful, really, but most dangerous things are. I never believed in him. Not until his minions blasted a gaping hole in our hull that sent us straight to the bottom. He'll get his. You just wait. I'm going to see if there's anyone else on this island. There are too many structures for it to be deserted. Don't be fooled.
And what is this? Tell me, stranger, what brings you down these dank passages? Salvage? Riches? The allure of a most magnificent death? If you must die, it should be at the hands of a monster like me. My victims are almost as infamous as I am. I have touched the hand of death and been chosen. So it is with all great men. We transcend mortality. But you wouldn't know of such things, would you? Death will not have me. Not until I am satisfied. And I am not satisfied. Oh no, I still hunger. Sinking your ship was only the start. Now it must be stripped to its bones, picked apart piece by glorious piece. Everyone's scavengers. It is how we survive. Killing the crew, well, that was for pleasure. Forgive me if I like to treat myself every once in a while. Will I? The Alpha Navy tried to stop me once. They sought to stretch my neck. Yet who do you think ended up dangling from the gallows? Don't make the same mistake they did. Don't come to my home and call for my head. It's foolish, and worse, disrespectful. I will forgive you this once, but that is all. Now leave Gallows End.
Listen to dead Kell, stranger. Find a ship. Find a captain. then sail far, far away from Gallows End. I'll see that your friend gets to the village. After that, I'm going to do some exploring. There was another crash not soon after yours, a ship that ran aground up north. I was planning to follow the survivors inland, but there also might be something of value in their wreckage. I wouldn't call him a close relation, but I've seen him from time to time. He doesn't show his ghastly face around Cape Solace that often. I guess even he's got an interest in good salvage. I can't be sure of what happened until I see for myself. But it was a large ship, a merchant galley, or perhaps even an old naval vessel. It was big, though, and it rode low in the water, loaded down with cargo, or with men, or with both. Good idea. You never can tell if these castaways are going to be friendly or just plain mad. Look at you. Perhaps I'll see you back at Cape Solace. Till then, try to stay out of trouble. We'll meet again.
About time. The Troika be praised. Surely they watch over me and bless me with friends such as you. Many thanks. Now that you've given me back my freedom, I will make the most of it. I swear I saw a village to the west. If that be true, then its people might possess food. Or more importantly, drink. I'll do my best to win their trust. If I fail, there are always other ways to get what I need. Be good.
how goes the foraging? Let's see. Yes, this is all of it. I'll begin straight away. Goodbye.
Greetings.
I don't know. When Acer now, where would we be without you? Be safe out there.
I'm surprised. Must be all the talk about a car. Ara, always a pleasure.
Look at you! I could just gobble you up, but it's in my contract with the Navy that I do no such thing. You found the Ardings alive and well, if not a bit soggy. Well done. I had a feeling you'd be full of surprises. I've been here searching for a means of escape, but everyone is so preoccupied with their precious scion that they hardly give me a glance. No. They didn't. Alder believed he passed not long after we left him, and that he was swept out to sea. He was a good first mate, Tari. I'll miss the silent little scallywag. We did try to save him, but the winds of fortune don't always blow in our favour. She's the one they're handing over to their god, their precious Akara. They hold a splendid ceremony and surrender her as a vessel. Then the rest of her life is spent in intimate meditation with the spirit. Sounds dreadful. You met him, did you? Tell me, what did the villain have to say for himself? Did he have the hangmen with him? Bloodgrin, the Whispering Witch, the Baronet? She wields a powerful staff, and she likes to whisper into the ears of her victims before they die. No one knows what she says. She's also said to be Dead Cal's lover. Gross. Big nasty brute. He kills with his bare hands if he can, but he'll settle for his hammer if he wants to be especially messy. He's a fancy one, more concerned with his silks and swagger than with taking a life. As Mother always said, manners will get you everywhere, and I mean everywhere. I don't doubt it. Wow, where were you when I wanted to kill my ex-husband? Alder might know something. He spoke of an old castaway, a man named Key, who has been on this island for lifetimes. He might be a resource. If I've learned anything from the sea, it's to follow the winds when you get them. Alder will know where to find this Key fellow. If we're lucky, he'll be normal, not like the rest of these twisted eels. I'm not counting on it. I'll be right here.
Watch for Dead Cal.
You've done a good thing. More than Cape Solace would ever do. They should care more about helping strangers than converting them. The one you rescued looks strong, fierce. I do hope his strengths are a help and not a hindrance. I will watch him closely. We Darkelfar are nothing if not careful. Farewell.
Hello.
I'm sorry about your friend, Tari. His loss was unfortunate. But in my time, I've learned that everything occurs according to Akara's plan. We in the village are preparing for the offering ceremony to receive our new scion. Only then will you truly understand. It is when we offer one of our own to Akara, as a gift, and as testament to our trust in his guidance. The ritual takes place once a generation. We bring our chosen one to the mountaintop, where she receives the blessing of Akara and becomes the scion. From that day forward, she holds a place of honor in the village until the next offering occurs. Captain Bratigan explained that you plan to bring dead Kell to justice. I understand your reasons, but the quest is folly. Still, I wish you success. So I will point you in the direction of a man named Key. He is the oldest castaway on Gallows End. He will have answers. Before you speak with him, I must ask you a favor. Your journey will take you past Soul Deep Fasting, where my wife Bridget prepares for the offering. Take her this amulet. She will want it. All scions wear it during the ceremony. Akara speaks through the scion. They are one. Without the wisdom of the scion, we here in Cape Solace would be lost. She guides us and keeps us true to Akara's path. And at the end of her life, the scion will depart this island with her guard, taking the power of Akara so it may find root elsewhere, like a seedling in the wind. It is just down the beach to the west. You will know it by the watchers standing guard out front. Do not provoke them. They are called the Watchers. You will know them by their robes and masks. They are the silent guardians of Akara. The scion is their voice. Both the outgoing scion and the one who has been newly chosen are protected by these ancient warriors.
It wasn't easy, but I followed that landing party inland. Nobody carrying that much cargo is here by accident. There's a storm brewing. You'll be happy to know that I took a prisoner. That dainty fellow over there. He says he's harmless, but I'm not so sure. I had a chance to scout a bit closer and caught sight of another ship, one that's still intact just offshore. If I were crazier, I'd steal it and make for open sea. Mostly, I just want to go after their leader. If his people are here for blood, we'll know soon enough. I must say, they resembled a war party more than a ship's crew. I counted warriors, and even a few scholars among them. It's not uncommon for outsiders to come to Gallows End, seeking Akara's power and the island's magic. I just haven't witnessed it in many years. Perhaps that's right. If that landing party does mean us harm, then we'll need all our best fighters here, at Cape Solace. We could use more like you on Gallows End. Fish, pray, eat. That's what most of these people call wisdom. The Watchers. They don't look like much of a threat, but they'll milk the flesh from your bones if you so much as look upon the scion with malice. She is Akara's slave, a mouthpiece for the god himself. My mother deserved more of a life than that. She was a great woman, is a great woman.
What is it you seek? The new Scion must not be disturbed. Her meditations are of great importance to the offering ceremony. Without the proper preparation, she won't withstand the power that comes with Akara's blessing. It will destroy her. He is the reason all of us on Gallows End enjoy peaceful lives, full of grace and enlightenment. He is just, and that is more than we deserve. We are the Watchers. From birth, we are removed from the village and immersed in training. Our gifts come from Akara himself. We are his eyes on Gallows End, his protective hand around the Scion and her people. It was once a Diverga passage, but after they abandoned this island, it was occupied by the first villagers of Cape Solace. The first Scion resided here, behind these warm, protective walls. Now all Scions undergo their preparations here, safe and under our watchful gaze. It is how a mere man or woman becomes the hand of a god. The successor to the Scion is chosen months ahead of the ceremony, so she can reflect on the importance of her duties. When the offering occurs, Akara passes his blessing to the Chosen One, who then becomes the Scion. It is beautiful. She embodies Akara's power and represents his good influence here on Earth. Many wish to be the Scion, but ultimately one is chosen. She must be strong enough to contain Akara's blessing, for it would consume lesser beings. Soon, that name will mean nothing. She will be the Scion, Akara's chosen one, and the vessel for his power. I will give her the amulet once she breaks from her meditation. You must leave now. That is not a suggestion. That is not your concern. She is safe. Nothing will happen to the Scion under the gaze of the Watchers. Akara be praised.
Please, you must help me. Please. Olaf, the one from the prison ship. He attacked me. There was nothing I could do but pray to sweet Lyria to protect me. He was so strong, so intent. I've come to trust Olaf, at least enough to go with him to fish down by the flooded cavern. But this time he seemed different, intense. He spoke to me as if I were not married, as if he and I shared an intimate bond that I can assure you does not exist. Then he became physical, rough, and he would not be refused. Fortunately, Cadwallon was not far away. I do not know what I would have done. I don't care about that brute. All I care about is Cadwallon. I've never seen him rave so. He went in pursuit of Olaf with revenge in his eyes. Foolish, foolish man. He is a bard, not a warrior. Olaf will crack him like a shell. Find my husband.
Death is too good for him. Of all the ways to waste a second chance, wherever he is,
I hope he's suffering. All my life I was a follower of Lyria. And how did she help me? I was poor, I was hungry, I was miserable. Here on Gallows End I can see the effects of Akara's power. He provides. That's more than I can say for my father's gods. Gallows End is like every other challenge I faced in my life. Every day is a struggle to survive. My mother died when I was young, and my father was a thief. I was half-starved when Lord Pennion caught me snatching gold from his pocket. Instead of tossing me into Rathir prison, he gave me a chance to work off my punishment. I became a servant in his great house. And that's where I first met Nesta. We had not spoken a word to each other before the crash. Now, we are husband and wife. I do not mind the villagers. Not as much as my wife does, that is. They are a devout group, sheltered by their island god, Akara. Everyone here is needy. I don't see any reason why we can't look to the powerful for protection. I've only seen the pirate once. I was hiking the cliffs alone to pull in the morning's catch. The black ship Requiem was sailing out toward the sunrise, its rigging decorated with stark black gulls and corpses. We are truly blessed that he cannot come near the village. Akara be praised. They are dwarf mariners, small but sturdy sea folk who rule the kingdoms and islands north of Erethel. Don't be fooled by their size. They are fierce. We are able to get by on fish from the frostbreak and the plants we grow on the bluffs. There is no reason to venture beyond the village. Beyond the forests is the realm of beasts and pirates. We are safe so long as we stay near Cape Solace together. The Diverger built quite a fortress for themselves. It's a shame they couldn't overcome their fears and stay. What a waste. Lyria, keep you
That crazy maiden nearly tore my hair out. Do you have any idea what it costs to have yourself coiffed in such a manner? No, you probably don't. I suppose I'm your prisoner then. Excellent. And I thought my day couldn't get any better. Calder and I were students together. I took to spellbinding while he took to going mad, it seems. I don't like to judge. You should call him by his true title, Lord Von. His family holds great power in Rathir. Eccentric they are, interested in relics, research and rumors, all of which led them here. Once they knew about Gallows End, they had to find it. Well, I've been to finer islands. This heap of wrecks and zealots has its charms. I'm having difficulty naming them, but I'm sure there are some. Farewell.
It's done, my liege. I am certain you'll be impressed. Incidentally, I've taken the liberty of inviting Cillian Keen from Cape Solace to serve the keep as your beast master. You can find him at the beast pen. It's an exquisite beast pen, isn't it? Cillian and his beasts will be very comfortable there. No keep in Icebrine Coast can claim a beast pen as fine as this one. I have only just begun, my liege. Several texts I found in the keep refer to an unusually large armory beside the main structure. For this, I'll need 2 bundles of emberwood, 2 bundles of sailcloth, and 4 bundles of sea steel. A journal belonging to, I think, the keep's original master-at-arms has convinced me that the collapsed building to the left of the keep was an armory. There are some cryptic references to a method he devised to determine how effective a student is in combat, but it's beyond me. In my dream, I saw a building flanking the main structure. I now know it's the armory. It was a place for weapons, as you'd expect, but it was also to be a grand academy for the art of combat. The Duverger built armories and trained their masters-at-arms to divine how much damage you inflict when attacking with weapons or even spells. Sea steel is usually found around the coast. I'll mark on your map where you're likely to find the crates. Once you get back, I'll get started on construction right away. It's going to be the spitting image of the original structure. When the time comes, we'll have to choose your master-at-arms wisely to be worthy of such an armory. Myfa tells me there's a new arrival in Cape Solace who might be interested. When you have all the... you should be able to find... Goodbye.
You must be the great liege that Paddy has been talking about. He kept going on and on about how magnificent and benevolent you are. Honestly, I just agreed to move up here to get out of the wind. That town on the cliff was a bit breezy. Me? I'm afraid I'm not for sale. Just kidding. I know that's not what you meant. Buy me a drink later, and maybe we'll talk. I've got quite the eclectic selection. Kind of out of necessity, seeing as we're in the middle of nowhere. We were caught in a fog bank off the coast of the plains of Erethel, when another ship came looming out of the mists in front of us. The captain tried to avoid it, but we ran aground on a reef. The ship broke apart, and I washed up here. I only got a passing glance at the other ship, but I think the name began with a C. Watch out for scabs.
Hello. Pleasure to meet you. I'm Cillian, the Beastmaster. Paddy promises the world, but he delivers it too. It's a fine pen, and any good Beastmaster would be honoured to work. I'm grateful that Alder did so much to provide for us, but I never fit in Cape Solace. I was trained to fight and bend the beast to mankind's service. Not skills in great demand here. We've never needed to fight, thanks to Akara's protection, and Alder refuses to allow beasts in the village. Thinks highly of himself, but there's no one better to have on your side. Take care. Yes, my liege. I'm a world-famous beast trainer. Give me any kind of beast and I'll domesticate it. If you're interested and willing to get some food for me to use as a lure, I can train the beast to be your pet. Aye, it's something I've done since I was a young boy. I can domesticate almost any kind of animal to live and work at the keep. Do you fancy a large pet or a small one? Keep in mind, I can only maintain 3 pets at a time. The bigger the better, right? Which kind would you like? Bears are quite fun and keep away most pests. Give me a day to find one and we'll get started. Take care.
How can I ever thank you? Time and again you've been our savior, almost as if you were sent. I am a daughter of Lyria. but even she has been silent to my many pleas. It is comforting to know that people can make a difference too, though not everything rests in the hands of gods and madmen. Bless you. Again, thank you.
Nestor and I are shaken by what's happened. I don't know if we can ever truly move on. At least not on Gallows End. Take care.
Hello. Forgive my confusion, but have we met? I arrived on the island several months ago, or so the villagers tell me. Blame this nasty bump on my head. Tricky business, memory. When you have it, you forget it's there. Once it's gone, you forget, well, everything. Even now, I came out here for some reason I can't recall. All I have to show for my time is this map. Little good it will do me here. Well, it's not a whole map, not really, more of a scrap of parchment. I found it among these debris. But why was I looking through them in the first place? For salvage? For tortoise eggs or crabs? For shells? Maybe it's a map leading to buried treasure. I'd say it's De Verga by the lettering and the designs, but I don't even know why I'd say such a thing. What's a De Verga? I don't know. I can hardly remember my name most mornings. If you look closely at the corners of the parchment, you'll see that it seems to have been torn from a larger whole, perhaps into many separate pieces. Please do, it's yours. What good is a map on an island with no boats? If I come upon any more, you're welcome to them. That is, if I remember who you are. My name is Aubrey, but that is all I remember. The other villagers say they found me nearly drowned in the waters of Scuttle Beach. I am almost certain he is the reason I'm here. He's known for sinking vessels that stray near the island. The other villagers advise me to stay near Cape Solace, but I can't help it. There's something in my nature that craves exploration. They are a determined people, driven to tame the elements with nothing but the strong grip of their fingers, the will in their hearts. Sea or stone, they will batter down obstacles to reach their goals. Make no mistake about that. I'm not sure how I came to be here or why I was in the area to begin with. I detest that. The questions. Don't ask me. My advice, good luck.